Welcome to the On Par podcast. I'm your host, Drew DiAlberto from the beautiful Winners Award Group showroom here in Coconut Creek. I've got a very special guest, a new friend of mine, Jacqueline Jimenez.
Thank you. So good to be here.
It's my pleasure. Thank you for coming up to the showroom today again. And, you know, the funny thing is we met through golf, but we weren't even in the same place at the same time.
That's right.
Our mutual friend, Ariel Levitt, who's been a guest a couple of times, and I've been a guest on her podcast, introduced us. And she didn't really say much. She just said, you know, on her Ripple app, here's an introduction, and she wrote golf.
Exactly.
That was it, because you met her at 6 Degrees with Rich Rogers.
Actually, I met her before.
Oh, you knew her before. Did she bring you to 6 Degrees?
In a way.
Okay.
Yeah, yes.
Okay.
Because I was introduced to you and Rich at the same time through the Ripple app, of course.
I'm happy to be mentioned in the same breath as the Godfather anytime, so thank you for that.
Yeah.
And you have a business. You do workshops and mastermind classes.
Mm-hmm.
You're a longtime broadcaster and public relations expert, let's say, or at least you have an expertise in public relations. You've covered golf, you've covered other sports, all kinds of different things. So you've got an interest, you got to have great stories to tell.
I have tons of stories to tell.
So before we get into your unique networking opportunity that's coming up on May 1st, because we're going to bury the lead real quick. But, you know, give me a golf story to start.
Ooh, well, you know, the funnest golf story I have is somebody you've met.
Okay.
And that's with Carter Bonas.
Yes. Love Carter Bonas from Spectrum Golf.
Yes.
Young man who's also been on the podcast as well. We're doing his golf tournament. We did a lot of work for his mom, Thelma, Dr. Teeny, with all of the swag, the awards, all different types of things. And now we help him with the book launch as well.
Yes.
So tell me the Carter story. That's what I want to hear.
Okay, well then you're in for a treat because I met Carter when he was 10.
Okay.
And
he's 14 now?
He's now 14.
14.
Just turned 14 not too long ago. And when I met Carter, his mom, Dr. Tenney, was she had seen me when I was speaking at an event.
Okay.
And we didn't know that we both lived in the same city. You know, and literally like a mile from
You're
each
a
other.
Coral Springs girl.
Yes, I am.
All right.
And so what was great about that was we didn't know each other, didn't know that we lived so close to each other, but she was actually trying to get promotion for the nonprofit that was born out of Carter. So Carter is on the spectrum, first of all. And she has a nonprofit that was born out of autism, because when she found out that Carter was on the spectrum, it turned out, you know what, she's a mental health therapist.
That is right.
And she was like, you know what, through this process, she was like, I need some therapy. Carter needs some therapy.
Okay.
And they came up with the Healing Arts Institute, which offers no cost mental health therapy. But she was trying to separate them.
Okay.
But I was like, wait a minute, this is born out of Carter.
They're together.
They're together.
Sure.
You know, and so part of what I do is, first of all, I'm a news producer and a media strategist.
Okay.
And so for me, I'm looking at the story from a strategy. You know, where are we trying to go with this? What are we trying to do? And she was really struggling trying to separate them. I'm like, no, this is one story. And sometimes you can't see that because you're thinking, you're dealing with politics around you.
Okay.
And it's really one story. So Carter, once we decided this is one story, she says Carter wanted to take his line of golf apparel to the PGA Show, and he had never done that before. And so she says, Jackie, I remember this conversation as vividly as it happened. And she goes, do you think you can get me some news coverage for the PGA Show? I go, you know, I really don't know. I said, because I hadn't really dealt with a lot of sports. I've dealt with news most of my life. And so I said, let's see. So I did something I've never done before. I went to the Golf Channel's website and I looked up a few reporters' names. And I know that from a branding standpoint, the reporters are looking for branding just as much as the networks, right? So I said, I looked up their Twitter pages and I sent them a blurb, 3 guys. And I said, listen, Carter's going to be at the PGA Show. He is with his line of golf apparel. It's his first, he's on the spectrum. And I said, "You interested, in covering it?" That's what I said. That was it. I was expecting maybe a no thanks, not interested, somebody else's job, But one person responded, and he said, "Let me talk to my producer." Now, I know producers because I've been a producer all my life.
Okay.
So I've been a news producer, worked for ABC, NBC, CBS, and Fox, but always a freelancer too. So when he said producer, I'm thinking, okay, well, we'll see what happens.
Never gonna hear from the guy again. Okay, I see where you're
going.
Yep.
Next day, I get this message. He sends me the producer of the golf channels, email and phone number, cell phone number.
Yeah.
I'm like, that never happens.
Yeah.
So I knew that Carter is somebody special. I said, because for that to happen, there's only one way it happens.
Well, it's a good story. A 10-year-old creates a golf brand and then sets up a nonprofit to get other kids like him involved in golf.
Let me tell you.
It's a great story.
It's a super great story. When the Golf Channel, because now we're at the PGA Show.
Mm-hmm.
So when they interviewed him at the PGA Show, all the other golf media was already there. And so as soon as they saw that story, they all came.
Mm-hmm.
So now he is on every golf network, magazine, digest, and we've been going for 4 years.
Mm.
But the one person that saw that was the legendary Ernie Els.
Yep.
And if you don't know, Ernie Els also has a son who is on the autism spectrum. In fact,
the Els Foundation.
The Els, Foundation. But more so than that is that he has 2 charter schools for autism in Jupiter and now an adult center, which if you understand the autism network, after 21, it's very hard for them to get work and opportunities. Mm-hmm. And it's getting better, but it's only getting better through opportunities like this. So Carter has been this voice for autism, for golf, and his mission is embrace your difference. Because Carter's story is he didn't speak till he was 4 years old.
Mm-hmm.
Now he's speaking to hundreds, probably thousands.
He was on my podcast. I mean, he talked to me for 20 minutes on my podcast, and he was great. He was engaging. He was a good storyteller, and he was 12 or 13 at the time, maybe a year-ish ago. And he impressed me a lot.
Well, the fun part of this, that since he was 10 and up until now, right, the media and all the interviews he's done has actually helped him be more comfortable and social.
Yeah.
Because now he expects it. Now he's comfortable around people when before he was not.
Look, I know people that are not on the spectrum that would never. I mean, I've had people tell me like, "Man, I'd love to be on your podcast. I just can't do it."
Yeah.
Right. And this guy comes in and he's like, "Yeah, of course I'll do it." Right. His mom, I was introduced by Dawn Smith, golf tournament planner, Gold Crown. You probably know her too. Okay. And Dawn basically said, like, you got to have this kid on your podcast.
Absolutely, 100%. And the thing is, 4 years later, where are we? Carter is holding his 2nd annual Autism Awareness Golf Tournament, and he's releasing his first book.
It's only April 26th. It's a couple days away, and I'm playing. I'm looking forward to it. I'm bringing 3 of my clients. And
you should play too.
I can't wait. I mean, I think they're almost 80% sold out at this point. So if you want to get a spot, you better pay soon.
Jump in. And you know what's great is, hey, I'll be there. And so what's going to happen? I cover every story that Carter does. And I create news stories for social media. And so if I'm interviewing, if you're playing, you're being promoted.
Well, and let's talk about that, because the thing that you and I clicked instantly when we met, when you came up here, and we had a great conversation on the phone, but until you meet in person, it's like, okay, but you came up and we had lunch, and I introduced you to Lou and Nick Chiera.
Wow.
And
they're great.
They told you about Nick's camp and Nick's golf, and this was on a Thursday. and Nick's golf was that Saturday, and you liked the story about what we're doing with the cancer kids in golf and ice skating and scholarships and the summer camp, and you instantly were like, I just want to help you. So you showed up on Saturday, you shot content, you sent it to me. You were there the next Saturday. I think you were there this Saturday.
No, I
oh, no.
Yeah, no, I sent, what I did was I tried to generate news coverage for them too. So I did go that first Saturday. We did a whole story on it, which was great. And it's on social media. You should check it out because it's really important to see what they're doing in action. And that's something I love.
Right. And you saw the kids in action, kids with cancer, taking golf lessons, forgetting about, the problems that they've got and the treatments that they're going through, and just focusing on golf, which is great for mental health.
Yes.
Sometimes it could be aware on mental health, but that's only out on the course, right? Not at the practice range. And it created a symbiotic relationship where you at lunch, before you even did any of this, said, oh, and by the way, I'm having this really cool event that I invented on May 1st. And you told it to Lou and Nick, and of course the way to their heart, because they started the nonprofit in memory of their dad, is help them with the charity. So they ran to sponsor your event on May 1st, which, I want you to talk about the brainchild behind this thing and how you came up with it. And there's 40, 50 people already signed up. It's going to be a huge breakfast, but I don't want to steal your thunder. You tell us.
This is something that kind of ate at me a little bit. We're here in South Florida. We're all these professionals, and every once in a while, there is an event at the Wyndham on Deerfield Beach. It's the Deerfield Beach Resort, and literally you walk across the street and you're at the beach. It's a beautiful location, but every time I would go and do this Coffee and Connections there, it was just brutal leaving, brutal. And so
because you got the beach there and it's beautiful.
Right.
All right.
And I'm a beach person.
Like going to a golf course and not playing golf.
Oh my gosh.
All right. Right? I can relate.
Now you can, right? And so what would happen is I decided to have a bring your business to the beach workation. So the idea is that day, do your business from the beach, and then the Wyndham is going to make it possible for you to stay and actually work from the beach. And they're actually giving you rates if you want to stay the night. And I actually decided to do this myself.
Okay.
I took 2.5 days, and because I was like feeling guilty, I was like, oh gosh, 20 minutes, if that, from the beach, right? And I felt like, I don't want to pay to stay in the hotel. I'm 20 minutes away. But you know what? It was totally different. When I stayed at the beach, I had so much clarity. I knew I wasn't going to be interrupted, and I could just focus on what I wanted to do. And then when I wanted to take a break, I would just walk down the beach, or, and I knew I was going to have good food because there's great restaurants all around me. But it's also something that I thought other people wanted to get involved with, because there's so much redevelopment right now on Deerfield. And even golf. I was thinking, because I looked at the, the things to do while I was there, and I'm thinking, gosh, I was listening to the guy, and he was sending them like down to the Everglades, and I was like, oh, you could, there were some other things that I thought, especially from golfing, a golf clinic, or anyone to be able to partner with. And I was, I'm so connected to golf. I cover so many golf tournaments, not just Carter's, but ones related to Carter as well, but just different golf tournaments. People like Doug Flutie. I said that right?
Doug Flutie?
Yeah, Doug Flutie.
We know who Doug Flutie is. He's a Miami guy.
Well, Doug Flutie, I don't know. Do you know that Carter and Doug Flutie he's part of the Stars of the Spectrum? Doug Flutie also has a son on the spectrum.
And now it all comes full circle.
Yeah, and he created Stars of the Spectrum. And it's not just golfers, but he has a whole team of golfers, competitive golfers, Special Olympic golfers on this team, and they compete. So he created a competitive golf league for autistic players, but also entertainers. So every year they do this event where, the entertainers are out there, and I end up covering that. But I also covered the golf tournament. That was not too long ago.
All right.
I'm going to say January, February.
Have you been to the Masters?
I haven't, but apparently Carter has.
So I got a question for you. Since you're like Mrs. PR connected, I host the On Par podcast for 2 years. We've got over 100 episodes. Is that good enough to get me into the Masters media credentials?
I would think so.
All right, we're gonna have to work on that separately then.
I don't know. I haven't tried.
Let's stay. I'm sorry, the Masters sidetracked me for a second, but let's stay focused on your beach event.
Yes.
There's also a networking aspect to it. So let's talk about that, because a lot of our audience is business, golf, and networking. So you're hitting the right people that would go to this thing.
So for me, I bring everybody to the room. Okay. So it's going to center off or kick off with a breakfast. So it's a breakfast tour and a retreat. That's what I'm calling it. So the breakfast is about maximizing your visibility in untraditional ways. So we are bringing people like, Ariel Levitt with the Ripple app. We're bringing Film Lauderdale, which you might not realize how much your business can be a part of the film industry, particularly in South Florida, because they're looking to use businesses for sets. If you're in construction, they need businesses to build sets.
Well, we got a decent background here, so you may want to throw our hat in the ring.
Exactly.
Okay.
So my whole point is, you don't know unless you're there. And you're going to have a chance to shake hands in the room. The Broward County Office of Small Business and Economic Development are going to be in the room.
All right.
They have a major event coming up on May 9th, which is the Broward and Beyond Business Conference.
Okay.
You're going to want to be in the room.
Okay.
I have a treat with an incredible artist. If you have a home or in real estate or anything like that, you're going to want to see this particular artist who will walk through. You want to have a walkthrough, an exclusive walkthrough in a home, and someone's artwork that is out of this world is all through the home to show the home, what it would look like in the home.
Okay. So again, I love that too, but beach event. What portion of it is based on networking and breakfast, or is it going to be a round robin? What's the format of this event? Let's peel back the onion here. Give us we get there at what time, and then what happens? Okay,
you get there at 9:00. We're going to have breakfast. There's going to be a panel. We're going to talk about maximizing your visibility in untraditional ways. We're going to give you a longer chance. So it's an extended breakfast. It's not just breakfast. It's like breakfast from 9 to noon.
All right.
Okay. And the reason why we say that is because we want to give you a chance to, because usually you do a networking event and then you're off running, right? So the whole point is to be able to not go off and running, but to actually set up a table or in one of their boardrooms and work from the beach. Or you can work on the beach, on their private beach. So we're going to take a tour also of some of the restaurants and establishments that instead of meeting at Starbucks, on the beach.
Nobody wants to go to Starbucks. Their coffee sucks.
You understand what I'm saying?
They're not going to sponsor this show either, so I'm gonna say what I want.
I was just realized, don't say that.
Whatever.
So, I'm like, don't say that.
That's okay.
But
we'll get one of their competitors to sponsor us instead.
Starbucks is going to sponsor you.
No, they're not.
Okay. Maybe one day. But the whole point is not so much a coffee shop where it's enclosed. We live in South Florida. Let's get to the beach. So let's work from the beach, because until you work from the beach, that's all I have to tell you. Until you work from the beach, it's going to change your mindset completely. And you have to try it. For me, it was just night and day.
Okay.
And so what I'm suggesting to you is to try it. Try working from the beach. Try setting it. In fact, today, I'm going to the beach to meet with a client.
You're a little overdressed for the beach, though.
Well, I might take off this
Okay,
jacket.
Fair enough.
That's why I'm, kind of.
No, you look amazing. I'm not making fun of you. Just maybe not beach attire. Like when somebody wears a suit to a country club and you're like, you're not playing golf today, are you?
And the great thing about Deerfield Beach, it also has this grassy area. So if you're one of those people who hates the sand, okay, I love that. And others literally bring your chair, sit on the sand. But there's going to be, I think it's a great team building.
Well, I got a stupid man question for you then. What is the correct attire for your event? because when I go to an event that's a networking breakfast, I'm either going to be dressed like I'm going to play golf with a blazer on, or a full suit with no tie, because I gave up ties when I left banking a long, long time ago. So what do I wear to this thing? Is it a bathing suit and flip-flops?
It is not a bathing suit and flip-flops. However, when you leave the building, that's on you.
Okay.
But for the breakfast itself, which is a great question.
A suit, right?
No, you don't have to wear a suit. Let me tell you why. There are going to be people there who can only come for the breakfast, and they're going to have to run. Yes, they're going to be dressed.
All right.
But I think personally, golf attire or casual short, you want to throw on a jacket if, because some people feel like they can't network without a jacket. You can. Polo, whatever. Comfortable. But I'm great with golf attire or golf type attire. Personally, I think if you're going to wear a suit, wear tennis shoes. Enjoy it. Don't come in there and your feet hurt. Don't come in there with heels unless that's you.
Well, I try to dress like I'm playing golf every day anyway, because I really want to play golf every day. But that's my own addiction problem with my one vice that I have in this lifetime. But that's another story.
I have some interesting friends. And when I say that, meaning I have great clients, and when they come in that room, and there's so many new people that have signed up, I was like, oh my gosh, I can't wait to meet all these new people that have signed up because I understand that we need a break.
The good news for me is I can go shopping for your event and Nick's camp gala and charity golf tournament on the same week, because yours May 1st and ours is May 4th and 5th.
Right.
So I got the Kentucky Derby, which I have absolutely nothing Kentucky Derby themed. So I got to figure that out. And then, for yours, it's easy. I may not have to shop, maybe just some new tennis shoes or something. But let's talk about your actual business.
Okay.
And that's obviously one of the ways that you grow it is through networking, obviously, that you're creating this amazing opportunity for us to go to. So tell us a little bit about these workshops and master classes and who your ideal type of clientele is for that.
Just want to say it will be a networking paradise. That's what I've come up with.
Oh, networking paradise. I like that.
Because really, I've already started matchmaking. So I just want to say this one more time.
Go ahead.
So I've already started running promos. So if you register now, I'm actually putting out there who's going to be in the room.
All right.
So what that's doing is, they're going to be in the room. I want to meet with them. So every time I put a new one out, there are people who want to meet with those people.
Smart. It's like you've been in PR and marketing your whole career or something.
But it's really funny because you keep saying PR and marketing, but the truth of the matter is, Dr. Tenney is the one. Carter's mom is the one who made me. If I was not trying, and I fought her.
Is she going to be at the beach?
They're going to be in Washington.
Oh, that's a far trip.
National Golf Day.
That's a far trip to the beach in South Florida.
But his stuff might be there.
Washington, D.C.
Yeah.
Okay.
Because it's National Golf Day.
Okay.
On the 1st and 2nd.
Is he going to the White House and doing an interview and stuff? Is he really?
No, seriously. Last year he did it for the first time. And when she first told me that, I was like, okay. For some reason, there would be other kids there. Well, Carter's considered like the youngest golf CEO in the country.
That's cool.
Isn't that ridiculous?
That's cool.
I had to do this in my head so many times, right? We can't even go. That's why you have to buy the book. Because you can't, and the book is called Swinging Beyond the Spectrum, How Autism Became My Superpower on and Off the Golf Course. This is not a kid's book. This is he's gone through a lot of stuff. But National Golf Day, he was there last year, and you had this group picture.
Mm-hmm.
All these CEOs, Congress people, the only kid. And they had like another day where did
he meet the president at the time or no?
I don't think so.
Okay.
But he did meet different Congress people.
Yeah,
they met people, different congressmen and senators and so on. But they also had a give back day. So they were doing landscaping and things, and there's Carter right there in the mix. And he loves farming kind of stuff.
Okay.
Gardens. He has a garden of his own.
Very cool. I have to talk to him about that because my wife's got a garden. I pulled some jalapenos over the weekend and cut them up and put some cheese on them.
He will be all
I'm gonna
a long
learn from
time.
him because I'm just a grunt in my garden. It's like, this needs to be watered, that needs to be picked, dig the hole here, because I know nothing. I'm just basically the labor at my house for the garden, which I'm fine with because I ate some blackberries over the weekend and they were freaking lights out amazing.
Oh, really?
Yeah, really, really good. I'll bring some to you next time I see. Maybe I'll bring some to the golf tournament if they flower a little bit.
I tell you. So back to your question.
Yeah, I'm sorry. Go. Yeah.
No,
we went in a roundabout way to get to the question, but that's okay.
Yeah, because I do want people to understand that just being a part of this event is going to get you promoted. And so what I do as a news producer and media strategist is I talk to you about, I help you identify your news story, and then I try to either help you get television news coverage or I produce news stories for social media. And then through my workshops and master classes, we really get into how to strategize yourself. So you may have a marketing department, or you may be the marketing department. And for Dr. Tanny, she goes, like I said, she'll be in Washington, but guess what she's doing? I'm going to bend down.
What's Dr. T doing?
So I teach people how to use their phones.
All right.
We generate television news coverage with our cell phones.
Okay.
All the time. Okay. Not even a little bit, like all the time.
Okay.
And so I teach her not to shoot like this, although she does a lot. To teach
horizontal, not vertical.
So what happens when you shoot it like this and it runs on TV? You see that black on both sides. So my workshops are about the easiest way. So I have a handbook. I don't know if you know that.
No, I'm excited. I can't wait to learn this stuff. So
I have a handbook. It's called How to Get Television News Coverage. It's easier than you might think. And it's really the easiest ways.
So do we buy the handbook?
You can buy the handbook, or you can take the workshop.
Okay.
And you get the handbook.
So when's the next workshop?
It's really, well, they're all set up. I mean, you can look at the dates. So we just
go to your website?
Go to the website, and this is what I'll do.
I'm going to get all your links and give them to Curfton, and he's going to plaster them all over this.
Because we're on the On Par podcast, I will make sure that the introductory workshop is discounted.
Okay.
For the On Par podcast.
I appreciate that.
The other thing is for the master classes, there's some 2-for-1 discounts. Go in with a friend.
Okay.
Go in with somebody.
And what website are we going to find all this information?
It's on the Eventbrite. Or you can go on newsworthystory.com.
Newsworthystory.com.
Even though my company is Newsworthy Stories,
the website is singular.
STORY.
Okay. Okay.
And you can definitely go there, or connect with me on LinkedIn, please. Connect with me on LinkedIn. And I also have a YouTube channel at Newsworthy Stories as well.
Very cool.
But these classes, the ideas are simple. People think, I can't. Once you understand it, because I'm not trying to be your person to do that all the time.
I like simple.
Yeah.
I'm a fan.
People are already using their phones. They're just not using them. They're just, instead of just the
I got at least 6 people that want to take it right now that I can think of off the top of my head. One of them's my son. I think my son at 16 would get a lot of value out of that.
I have to barter on that one because the 16-year-olds, they're so cool on editing. But yeah,
we'll have my people talk to your people about that. He's not very rich right now. He's looking for a summer job. So if you need to hire an intern grunt, I got a guy for you.
All right. But, especially if he's interested in the field.
I mean, isn't everybody under the age of 30 interested in the field? I mean, creating content is fun.
It is fun, and it is so rewarding. Once you understand how to just turn on the video.
But if no one sees it, that's the other problem.
That's the problem. If you don't put it out there, or you just shoot the video and never use it, which a lot of people do, then that's what we're here for, right?
Right.
We can help you out with some of those things.
Yeah.
That the idea is understanding, first of all, how to maximize it. And understanding how to maximize it. Not so much you doing it, but sharing it with somebody else who will share it. Okay.
Then they tell 2 friends. Then the commercial from forever ago. I remember.
The thing about word of mouth is still word of mouth, but if you don't like something you like, share it.
Mm.
If you share it, it's totally different. The other thing I teach people is how to take your post and keep pushing it to the top of the feed. These are some of the easy things that people don't realize. So don't give me a mile-long introduction, okay? Give me a shorter introduction. And then in the comments, later on that day or the next day, add another line that you had planned to put in that long intro. And then guess what's going to happen? It's going to see a new audience.
What do you look for in content or in a story? Like, I mean, obviously we talked about Knicks, we talked about Spectrum Golf. What appeals to you as, you know, an expert in this field, doing it for so long? What are you looking for in a story?
Well, usually I tell people I don't sell your product, I sell people.
Yeah.
It's actually your story.
Yeah.
That people are most interested in. Most people don't think that they're interesting.
Okay.
And sometimes it's not your event.
I mean, most people aren't interesting.
I beg to differ. I beg to differ. Most people are very interesting.
Okay.
You just aren't looking at the right angle.
Okay.
So a lot
or
of
they
times,
just don't know how to tell a story.
they might not know how to tell a story. They might not see themselves
Okay.
right and with the right angle. Someone may have skewed their importance, their value.
Got it.
And they don't see the value in what they do. But generally speaking, most people I talk to, there's something so valuable because it's only you.
Mm-hmm.
Who could be you, Drew?
You don't want two of me, that's for sure. That would be too much.
You are so unique. And that's why I think we hit it off, because one of the things Newsworthy Stories likes to do is capitalize on difference makers.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
Yeah.
This is,
Sure.
We're surrounded by difference makers, awards, right?
Sure.
But this company, the Winners Award Group, they're making a huge difference. And that's why I wanted to cover it. Because they were saying, oh, we could, we want to pay you to do this coverage. Yeah. And I was saying, first of all, because they were like, or Nick was like, just show me how to use the phone. I'm like, not on this one. Yeah. Maybe the next one. Let me show you first what I'm talking about. And once you see what to shoot, is that the key. Mm-hmm. So as a news producer, if I touch this microphone.
It's fine.
As a news producer, most of my career, I was behind the scenes. I always had a camera guy. Mm-hmm. I wasn't shooting. And that's why I try to tell people, I want you to understand that. I wasn't shooting video. Now I get paid thousands to shoot with my phone. Mm-hmm. And I'm not even pretending.
Okay.
And why I say that is because even though I could edit, right? I would edit and stuff for help the newscasts and the other newscasts that I wasn't producing. Mm-hmm. So I would edit and put stories together for the other newscasts. So I knew how to tell the story, write the story, And I was never shooting it, but I knew what they were shooting. Mm-hmm. So simple things like how to use natural sound to help tell your story. A lot of the promos, they use a lot of music, but they don't use a natural sound. And you miss the energy of what's happening in the room. So one of the things I'm known for is if I go to your event or whatever, even like the cancer event.
Sure.
You want to feel like you were there. And so that was my whole thing, is to help people feel like they were there. So I was glad to hear this past weekend that Lou tells me that more people signed up. So I was like, yes, people signed up. I love that. Yeah. I want people to get excited about your event because I want them to feel bad that they missed it and that they will never miss your event again. Okay. And that's the thing. So the big idea is when you talk about what's important in a story, it's really knowing what to shoot. But the second thing I always tell people is, what do you stop for? When you're scrolling through LinkedIn or Facebook or whoever it is, what makes you stop? Are there pictures? And it's a great thing to try. Ask yourself, when you stop at something, go look at the picture. And is it the picture that's close up to you? Is it someone who's smiling? Is it someone who's mad? Or is it like crazy looking video or
I
shaky
mean,
video.
for me, it's anything that doesn't have politics involved, because that stuff is it's ubiquitous. Even on LinkedIn, which is my bread and butter, right?
Yeah.
I use
Me
LinkedIn.
too.
Business owners, we use LinkedIn, right?
Yeah.
So I look at LinkedIn and it's like, why is everything about I hate Trump, I love Trump? Like, who cares about that? Like, let's do business and forget about all that stuff on LinkedIn. It's becoming
You're
Facebook.
connected to the wrong people. I don't have any of that on my
I
feed.
gotta delete a bunch of people, I guess. I don't know.
I am grateful for that. I mean, every once in a while I get, but I don't get one or the other too much.
Yeah.
And I'm glad about that.
Okay.
It's out there for sure.
Well, so I mean, look, you got a lot going on. What else did we miss, Jacqueline?
Well, just, I'm really glad to be working with
my pleasure.
the Winners Work Group, but also I wanted to say we did miss one thing.
Tell me.
So in between Ariel Levitt of Ripple and meeting you or being introduced to you and Rich, I went to a 6 Degrees golfing.
Yes. Well, that's how you met Lou.
That's how
Even though I invited you to the showroom, you met Lou first.
Yeah, he invited me later.
Yeah.
Right? But I met Lou first, and it was hilarious when I walked in the door and I see Lou, because I didn't know Lou and Drew were connected, and I was like, "What?" And we had a very long discussion. I mean, there was quite a few people there.
Yeah.
So for us to connect at 6 Degrees Golf the way we did, and then to meet him again later that week unexpectedly, because I didn't know you two were connected.
Right.
I had no idea. That was just a joy. And then to go and eat lunch and just everything just
the funnier thing is we both met Lou at 6 Degrees, and we both shot content for him within a very short time span, because when he talked about the Knicks camp event, I had just started this podcast. And I waited in line to talk to him, because there's a bunch of great people in that room that want to talk to him, because he talked about Knicks camp and, his gala and golf tournament were coming up within a month of that meeting. And I walked up and I said, "Hey, look, I'm not, as famous as Joe Rogan or anybody like that, but I'd love to shoot some content for you. And, whoever you want to talk on the podcast, I'll bring the podcast to you."
Yeah.
And he said, "I love it. Let's do it." And then, 3 months later, I wind up sitting here every day with him. So it's just funny.
Just a great family.
Yeah.
But Rich Rogers will be at the Bring Your Business to the Beach Vocation. So if you're interested in the 6 Degrees Golf Networking event, you don't have to know how to golf, because he
teaches you.
They do a teaching lesson and a golf, and for you who already know how to golf, then
that's none of us, by the way. There's like 3 people in that group that really are good at golf, and Rich is one of them.
Yeah.
And then the rest of us are just love golf and networking.
But the connections in that room are, so if you want to meet somebody in golf, 6 Degrees Golf will be there as well. So.
Learning to play golf and joining 6 Degrees were the 2 smartest things I did for my business.
I think so.
Yeah.
I think you're right. And again, because I'm surrounded by golf, I mean, I'm in so many different ways. I've loved the game before.
So how good at golf are you?
I tell people I am not a golfer, but I'm a clinicer. So I do a lot of
lots of practice.
Lots of golf.
Which is the opposite of most of the rest of us, who just get out there and swing away and hope for the best, when we should probably be in more clinics. But that's...
I go to a lot of golf clinics, and so far, because I just keep covering stuff, and that's why I'm, trying. You gotta turn the page one. At least if I'm out there, I'm happy to meet Rich.
Well, I think we're going to make some spectacular things happen with the connections that we both have, and sharing them with one another. Yeah. So I'm really excited for this partnership. It's been an absolute pleasure having you today on the podcast.
Thank you for having me.
And thanks for listening, and we'll see you next week on the On Par podcast. Have a great week.